Alright guys, so in this video we're going to talk about the Harbor Freight tube notcher that you can get for like 50 bucks. I use this on my roll cage and all the other roll cages that I've done. It's worked out great. The only issue is that you need to do a couple minor cheap upgrades to it. So first off, what a tube notcher does, when you cut your tubing, you cut it flat, say you want it to fit together. Obviously that doesn't fit well, as you can see. So what it does is it notches it so it fits evenly around the tubing for a nice clean fit to weld on. Now for this video, for the sake of cleanup, I don't want to have to clean up metal shavings everywhere, so I'm just going to use some tubing that I had. I use this for my roll cages. Works out great because you can really mock it up nicely. But before we do that, we're going to talk about the things that you need to do. So first off, good things about this notcher is that it's got a little thing here. It shows 0 degrees, 5, 10, 15, 20, goes up to 5, goes up every 5, all the way up to 60. Seems to be spot on, or pretty close to it. You can tell where you are by there's a flat piece right here that goes up, but then there's a little right angle right here. This piece that goes up shows you what degree you're at, so it's very nice. Holds the tubing in tight with this piece here. So one of the only issues with this is that between this actual notching piece and the base plate that it's actually attached to, when you just put it in there and put a tube in there, your tubing comes out. I have a piece around here. That is it. Comes out like this. You can see that it's about half right and half wrong. So what we did to fix that is you take a couple washers, like one washer under each of these. There's 3 bolts here on each spot. There's one that kind of holds for the pivoting and 2 that hold it in place. So what you need to do is put a washer under each one. Do some test runs, figure out exactly what yours need to be just in case they mess up and everyone's different. But I just did one washer, and then once you do that, it'll start to come out proper and even, as you can see in this one. So once you get the washers in, next thing you want to do is have a 5/16 24 thread tap around. Reason for this is because when you're doing this, you're going to be loosening and tightening these bolts all the time to change the degrees when you're doing a cage or whatever it is. As you do that, the threads get worn out very easily, so I just like to, re-tap it. Now after a certain amount of time, I've used this for a number of roll cages, so it's starting to wear out. As you can see in this bottom one, it's got a totally different bolt on it. It's actually got an Allen. No, not an Allen. It's actually got I can't remember it. So I can hand tighten it without having to have a wrench each time. Helps out, makes things easier. All I have to do is just get tight enough to hold it in. So with that being said, so it goes up to 60 degrees. The only issue with that is that if you put it on a table like this, you won't be able to hit 60. I can hit about 48, 50 before it starts hitting the table. So what they do here is on the back side of it, there's you can pivot this whole thing sideways. So what a lot of people do is they put this base plate on a post on the ground, and then they turn it sideways so the pole's running this way when they're cutting it, as opposed to like down at an angle or something like that, which is very nice. Next thing is your actual drill bit is held on by this piece, which has two more bolts, which you have to re-tap from time to time because they do go bad. So the first thing about this, what you need, other than your tap, is a 13 millimeter. That's what the size bolts that come with this is, unless you upgrade to different ones, and they'd be different. And WD-40. WD-40 is extremely crucial to this because when you're drilling, this is just metal on metal in here. You want to keep this lubed up. If it goes bad, because the heat will cause it to just wear out faster, and you want to make sure it stays as smooth in there as possible while you're doing it. It's only $50. It's true, if it breaks, you just get another one, but why spend more money? We can make this one work. Also, if you don't have like cutting oil, Use WD-40, it'll help when you're cutting because it keeps it cool. Don't go through as many bits. Now when you're doing this, and you're cutting metal, let the drill do the work. Sit there at a medium to high speed. Don't press down too hard. Obviously give it pressure, you're going to have to, otherwise it's just going to sit there spinning on the metal. But you don't want to push down with all your weight, otherwise you'll just be going through your bits like crazy. So for this, what I did was 1.75 outer diameter with an 1/8 inch wall and a 1.5 inch inner diameter, and it cut great. I haven't cut any thicker than that. I couldn't tell you for sure. I don't know exactly how it would do. Smaller would be easier, obviously. So for this, we are going to cut. I have it set at 15 degrees right now. We're going to cut this piece here. Imagine that this was steel tubing. I just don't want to clean up all the metal shavings afterwards. You put it into where it'll go. Tighten this down. Super easy. It squeezes it into a little triangle piece here on both sides, so it holds it in nice. Get going. Now, if that were metal, it would have taken about 45 seconds to do. But because it's nice, little easy cardboard. Only bad thing about cardboard is it looks like crap after you cut it. But, so what we just did here, it'll make it fit on here at a 15-degree angle, as you can see here. Fits nicely all the way around. And if that were my cage, I could just weld that up. Clean it off, the grinder or grinding wheel, and then weld that right on. So, for $50, this is great. I've used it on 4 roll cages so far. And it's done great. You just have to replace the bolts, retap the things, keep it lubricated. I believe that's it. It's definitely worth the money. Obviously, it's nothing like a professional one, but for us average Joes, it's great. So I hope this video helps you if you decide to go with this. Good luck with your projects. Comment if you have any questions on it. I'll help you as best as I can. Subscribe for more videos and stuff like this.